Yo, what's good? Jordan here, CEO Kiddo. I'm gonna take you guys through my thought process and show you guys how I came up with the beat for I'm Back by Chace Freeman. Let's get it. So I made this beat in Ableton, and I made it on my MacBook, so I had to export everything and bring it to my PC so I could do the video. But yeah, so let's get started. I wish I could have recorded on my Mac so I could show you guys like the actual notes and stuff, but this is what we're rocking with for now. Let's get into the melodies. So as you can see by the title, this is all from a Cymatics loop kit. Shout out to Cymatics. So initially the loop itself was like way slower, but I sped it up as you can tell, and I'm gonna just play the little intro part for y'all. When you hear that, it kind of draws you in a little bit, like, okay, what is this? What is this? What is this? This next little melody, I brought it in for the first verse after the drums came in hot, which, you know, of course I'll go over later. But here's this part. And then it repeats again. And for the hook, we have this section. This little section, I feel like it drives the hook a little bit more. It's not too overpowering. And then for the second half, we have, you know, the opening melody, and then this counter. You don't even notice it in the track. Same thing with this little, what is this? Like a... Yeah, I didn't even know that was in there until I looked back at the files. But yeah, that's the melody, and you know, I have it sectioned off at different points and all that. But let's get into the drums. So the drums are insane. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm glad I did it because it sounded fire. I'll start with the main drums, and then I'll break down the perc loops that I used. You know, you have your claps, of course. These are offset a little bit. So here's this. And I had those panned to the left just to give it a little variation. And then you have the snare here. And then with the claps, I don't know how to work Ableton that well, so I don't know how to like solo it and then maybe add something else. Unless I mute all of these. Hold on. Alright, so now I'll show you guys what the clap and the snare sounds like together. And that just gives it a tiny bit of bounce with that extra clap in there. And now with the kicks, I wanted something punchy. So here's that pattern. So for the kicks, I had the pattern vary with the 808 to kind of break it up a little bit. I have it hit on certain points and then I take it off at certain points. If you go and listen, you can like really kind of hear like the different, you can hear the different switches that are in there, like the different pattern switches. And now for the 808. So The 808 is an 808. I know people were wondering if it was like a synth bass or something. No, it's just an 808 that's like really muddy, really grungy, and it fit with like the attitude of the song, if that makes sense. So here's that. Now, the pattern, I was following, of course I was following, the melodies, but I don't know. I just wanted it to be, I wanted it to move you, and I think I've accomplished that. I'm back in the rhythm. Here it is with the kicks. And I'll go ahead and show you guys with the claps and the snare as well. And now for my favorite parts, the perc loops, which were very important and essential to the song. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 perc loops, and they all have their own little special purpose, mostly to drive the beat. Like, this beat would not have been as impactful without them, so I'm gonna take you guys through those now. So this first one I have, it's a radio loop, as you can see, and I'll play that for y'all. I added this perc loop because it gives the clap and the snare some bounce. I'll show y'all what I mean. For the second perc loop, this is a tribal synth drum, and it sounded absolutely crazy, and I knew I had to use it. I think this was the first one that I brought in, and then this loop inspired the 808. Yeah, that's how that happened. The like greediness and the groove of it, yeah, that inspired the 808. Here's what it sounds like solo. Like, when you hear that come in with that melody, you're like, oh shit, But anyway, I'm gonna play those two for y'all. And then with the clap and the snare and blah blah blah. So for the last two perc loops, this shaker right here, this was the game changer. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to use hi-hats for the hook, but I decided like, nah, it didn't really fit the groove. It didn't really feel right. So I dug around for a shaker loop, and this is the one that I found again from Cymatics. I'm gonna play it for y'all. Very, very simple, very straightforward. I just love it. I love how it sits with the hook. It's just perfect to me. Last but not least, we have the Zeta interlude perc loop. I had this come in for the second verse, and I just liked how it, I don't know, it just gave it a little more texture, and it helped switch the beat up just a little bit. All right, so here's the hook with all the perc loops. And here it is again, but with the drums. So there's the perc loops and the drums. Now I'm gonna take you guys through the little the risers and the crash and things like that. So this crash is my go-to. When I use it, I like to warp it so that it kind of matches the tempo. So here's what that sounds like. So cool. I just like how it's all sparkly and stuff. In my beats, I also like to use impacts. I like to use sound effects. Okay. This just gave it a little extra oomph for the drops. Okay, and here's one of the risers. It's very like, that was cool to use. And then here's this other riser. And this sound, I don't know what drew me to it. I don't know how noticeable it is in the track because, again, I forgot that I had all these cool sounds. Sometimes sounds can get lost, so yeah, I don't know. Here is the shout vox that I used for the hooks. And yeah, so here's all of the glittery stuff. And that's all for that. Last but not least, we have my signature tag here. Yeah, here's the hook for y'all. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope I explained things well enough. Be sure to stream I'm back and follow Chace on Instagram and all the socials at Chace Freeman. Follow me as well on Instagram at jorden kiddo, and I will see y'all in the next one. If you guys want tutorials or anything like that, just feel free to comment. And yeah.